So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm very excited for this video. I'm going to be going through how to write your e-commerce SMMA outreach emails. Okay, we need to go about it in a certain way. And there's a couple of things that I want to hit. And as I say, I'm going to be going through those things in this video so that you can literally pull the information that I go through in this video, build out your own email scripts, and I genuinely believe that you'll see a increase in your conversion rates across the entire funnel if you implement everything that I go through in this video. So I'm not going to hold you for any longer. Just before we do jump into the video, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Massively helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and let's get into it. The number one thing that I see basically majority of people struggle with is their deliverability. So first things first, we need to cover this, because if you don't have your deliverability on point, it doesn't matter how well your emails are written. It doesn't matter the type of people that you reach out to. If your email's deliverability just goes into spam every single time, then as I say, there's no point in you doing outreach. So number one area where people kind of mess up on when it comes to their deliverability for their emails and whatnot is that they use mass automation software. So before you even think about outreach, take the idea of mass automation email softwares, whatever you want to call them, take that idea out of your head. Because as soon as you use those, honestly, it's kind of game over on cold outreach. And I've got a multitude of videos on my channel going through this in terms of, like, you know, if people opt into something, then you can use things like ActiveCampaign, use things like Infusionsoft, etc. to send emails out to a list. That's fine. But on cold outreach, like we're doing for our agencies, you know, you see a brand, you take them through the qualification process and you reach out to them. For that dynamic of outreach for your clients, mass automation softwares is a no-go. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that you must ensure that your email health is on a high level. And if you're just starting out, and I don't want to get too technical here because there's so much stuff that you can do for email deliverability, but these are the few main things. As I say, if you're just starting out and you've got a new email, then before you even think about sending outreach, you know, doing your outreach and whatnot with that email, you must kind of prime the email. You must quote unquote warm it up. And the way that you want to do that is just have genuine conversations with real people to real email addresses for at least like a week, minimum a week. The longer you can do it, obviously, the better it's going to be. And then even so you want to go through that process 100% because you want to warm up your email, you want to prime your email. And the second thing is, and then once you've gone through that process of quote unquote warming your email up, you then want to gradually start sending more emails out per week. You don't want to start, you know, as soon as you've warmed up your email, you don't want to then just go ahead and send out 30 emails. You want to start at 5 emails one week, the next week bump it up to 10, next 15, 20, and so on and so forth. You just want to warm up your email. Don't go outright and just start sending 50 emails from a brand new email address, because you're going to get hit as spam straight away and go into spam, and that's it. So just a quick disclaimer there before we get into it, okay? Make sure you keep your email healthy, because if you don't, it's kind of no point you doing outreach because no one checks their spam, okay? So that's the first thing, as I say, quick disclaimer. If there's one thing that you take away from this video, it's this next point. Because without this next point, again, similar to the first point that I was talking about in terms of email health, without this next point, it doesn't matter how well written your emails are. If you don't get this first point down packed, the rest is irrelevant, okay? And that is your subject lines. This is literally, like, it's so important. And your subject line is kind of like your headline on your Facebook ads, right? Say you've got a client on board, or you've got your own Ecomm brand, whatever it is. The purpose of the headline on an ad is to motivate the viewer to read the ad copy, right? 80% of readers only read the headline. Okay, this goes for newspapers. I think the numbers are slightly different, but I think for the most part, it goes for newspapers and Facebook ads. A couple years back, Facebook did this like test or whatever it was, this like experiment thing, and they noticed, as I say, that 80% of viewers of your ad just read the headline first, okay? And so the whole point of the headline is to, you know, motivate the viewer to read the copy that you've written. And then the point of the copy is to push them to the website. Exactly the same thing goes with your emails. The point of the subject line in the email is to motivate the viewer, which is the prospect you're reaching out to, is to motivate them to click on the email and read the copy. The point of the copy is to motivate the same prospect to click on your scheduling link or to reply back to you to set up a meeting. Exactly the same processes and dynamics. It's identical as a Facebook ad. So as I say, making sure that you get your subject line down packed is so important. And the best, absolute hands down, at least at the point of recording this, I don't see another way beating this way that I'm going to explain to you here in a minute. I don't really see some new way coming out that's going to have better open rates than this way does. But as I say, at the point of recording this, the best subject lines that you can use is those that make you look like a customer. A business owner's main priority, and this stems across all industries, whether it be e-com, restaurants, gyms, real estate, anything. A business owner's top priority is their customers. If a customer reaches out to them, they're gonna open the email because their main priority is the customer. And so you want to structure your headlines where it comes off as though you're a customer. And now this is not, it's not, you know, I know I'm probably going to get a couple comments of people saying like, oh, but you're like kind of tricking them and it's kind of like unethical or whatever. And it's not, because you're not saying you are a customer. You're just coming off as a customer, okay? And the thing is as well, like your email should be genuinely providing the value, genuinely providing the business owner value, and that's a point I'm going to get onto here in a minute. So it's actually going to help them anyway. So it's not like you're being unethical in any way. But as I say, your subject lines, you need to make sure that your subject lines come off as a customer. If your subject line says, I can help you out with your Facebook ads, if it says something like that, not many people are going to look at it, because first things first, nobody cares about Facebook ads, right? Nobody cares, whether it be Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, like nobody cares about that. The first things first, they care about the results, right? People don't want a drill, they want the hole. It's that thing, right? So that's the first thing. Facebook ads just seem so boring, and no, you can't, okay? No, you can't help me with Facebook ads. And the second thing is that they know it's a business, they know you're trying to pitch them. And the underlying foundation to outreach is to just have a conversation with your prospects. They don't want to feel as though they're being pitched. If they feel as though they're being pitched, it's going to drive them away from you. Whereas if they feel like you're speaking to them, that you guys are having a conversation and they genuinely like you as a friend, they get on with you, and you guys both can see it's a good fit, they're gonna be super motivated to move forward with you. Subject lines of that nature, like, hey, I can help with Facebook ads, or hey, let's take your business to the next level, or increase your ROAS by 95%. Stuff like that, it's never going to work. You want to come off as a customer. First things first in your subject line. And there's a multitude of different ways to go about that. I'm not going to get into it because, as I say, there's so many ways you can go about that, but that's something that you always need to be thinking about with your subject lines. Next is the email itself. So once you've successfully completed part one, which is getting them to open your email via coming off as a customer in the subject lines, next obviously is the email. Now in the email, there's a multitude of different ways to go about it, okay? And if you want to understand a lot more in depth, at a lot more granular level, go ahead and click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to a free training where I walk you through exactly how I literally got my first 6 to 7 e-commerce clients for my agency, all through email outreach. So there's so many different like kind of approaches you can take, but as the underlying foundation to basically every approach is that first thing, there's kind of 3 things, okay? First things first is you want to personalize the email as much as you can, okay? When the business owner feels as though you're speaking directly to them, they are going to be a lot more compliant, they're going to be a lot more open, and they're going to be a lot more willing to hop on a call with you. Again, honestly guys, email outreach and Facebook ads, doing successful email outreach and running successful Facebook ads, basically everything is identical. In the email outreach, you want to make it feel as though you're speaking directly to the business owner that you're reaching out to. Okay, that's honestly super important. When you're running Facebook ads, you want the customer or the viewer to, your target audience, your ideal customer, to read the ad and feel as though the brand is speaking directly to them. They need to feel as though you're literally in their living room, okay, speaking directly to them. that's when that ad's gonna resonate with your target audience on a deep level, and that's when they go ahead and click through to the website and end up converting. Same concepts applies with your email outreach. You need to speak directly to the business owner on a deep level and make the message resonate with them, because it's at that point that they go ahead and either click your calendar in the email and schedule in a call, or they reply back to you and you guys start a conversation. Now, the next thing, and this point is something that a lot of people throw around, and it's something that doesn't really hold that much weight anymore, but I really want you to understand it and really take it in. And that's to provide value up front, okay? Provide value up front. That is literally, and I've talked about this in a previous video, but I really want to reiterate it. Providing value up front really serves as the foundation to everything that you do, whether it be content, whether it be outreach, whether it be, selling something of any nature. If you can provide value up front, people are naturally going to gravitate to you more. And then from there, they're going to be more open to working with you or paying you, whatever it is that you're asking for, etc., and really ultimately hopping on a sales call with you and potentially moving forward as a client, right? They're going to be more open to do that because you provided value up front to them. If you just reach out to somebody and just ask straight away, your conversion rates just aren't going to be that high, right? But if you reach out to somebody and you give them something, and then at the end of it, you give them the option to book in a call or to get on a call with you or whatever, or to reply back, whatever it is, the dynamic changes again, and people are more open to speak with you, to hop on a call with you, etc. Now, a couple things and a couple ways that you can provide value is, number one, just give them some tangible and actionable tips to them in terms of how they can improve whatever it is that they're currently doing. Don't feel as though that you're giving it all away or whatever, because so much more goes into it than what it looks like from face value. Actually, currently, I'm in the process of building out a resource that I'm going to be giving away on my Facebook. I'm going to be giving it away to e-commerce owners in terms of there's a thank you video that we do for all of our clients, that we build out for all of our clients at Bax Consulting, which is an ad that we run to everybody who's purchased the product from the brand, and it's of the owner, the client of ours, recording a quick 60-second front-facing iPhone camera video, just talking about saying thank you for your purchase, really appreciate your support, all that type of stuff. And honestly, they usually result in some really, really good ROASes. So I'm building out a resource right now that I'm going to be giving to a whole heap of e-com owners for them to go ahead and build out the same thing for their brand, even though they're not a client, right? I'm giving value up front, and I literally walk them through how to build out the campaign, how to, the targeting that you want to do for the ad set, the placements that you want to do. Then we go into the ad itself and how to build out the video, what to shoot it on, how to shoot it, what to say, and all that type of stuff. And to a lot of people, it probably looks like I'm giving it all away, But at the end of the day, I'm not. There's so much more that goes into it. Yes, they could build it out, but they still need they still need purchases for that ad to actually run to purchases, and that's where your cold traffic comes in and your retargeting and all that type of stuff. So as I say, give them some tangible and actionable ways that they can actually improve on what they're currently doing. And if they don't become a client, it's whatever, it's not a big deal. At least you've given them value and they can now go ahead and implement on it. But it's the fact that you've given them something first before you've asked. If you go ahead and ask straight away, you won't get any conversions. Trust me on that. The third and final kind of tip, if you like, that I want to give you guys is to test different approaches within how you write your emails. So one approach that you could do is a very short, sharp, punchy, straight to the point type email. Another approach that you can do is a real long form, super personalized, super direct approach. And that's actually an approach that I talk about in a previous video where I think it's called the new Ecomm outreach method. And that's something that we're personally testing in-house at Bax Consulting. It's a very, very personalized, long form approach. And really, we've not reached out to many businesses using that approach as of yet, just because it takes so long. You don't actually reach out to a lot of people. You may reach out to 1 to 2 businesses per day, but those businesses that you reach out to are just go and watch my previous video on that, because I actually show you an actual real life outreach email that we sent to a brand called Jot. It's a coffee brand, and you'll see kind of the level of personalization that really goes into it. And so, as I say, test that method, then test doing looms, and then test maybe more of a script route. I know I got my first 6 to 7 clients using scripts, and they're obviously the scripts that I give to all of the members of the Quantum Agency program. And that's how I got my first, I think it was around 7 clients from memory, 6 to 7 clients, my first 6 to 7 Ecomm clients. So test these different methods, see what works best for you, and triple down on what works for you personally. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember, if you want to learn more about how I got step by step my first 6 to 7 e-commerce clients, my exact e-commerce client acquisition funnel, as well as how to get your first or next e-commerce SMMA client, go ahead, click the first link in the description. I genuinely believe it's going to help you so much in terms of getting your next e-commerce client. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.